Nothing like a little bit of that new metal scatting. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, Sebe. Also, Common Writer Hydra, thanks for the first time chat, and I hope you enjoy your lurk. Hope you're nice and comfy for this generally chill yap stream. We're generally chill around here. Nothing too crazy on Sundays. All right, this music. What's up? Dakari, how you doing? I love the emote spam. What's up, Flash? How you doing, bud? You were hanging out and having a good time on that stream earlier when I was hanging out. Unfortunately, I got pulled away for some business. But, you know, that happens. What's up? How are you guys doing? You guys having a good Sunday? Is it restful? Is it chill? Are you dreading having to go back to work? Hey, simply appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I figured, yeah. Yeah, I do try to peep in like on as many people as possible. But I'm in the position now where I have so many like heckin' oh god. Okay, there we go. That's fixed. I have so many heckin' friends in the VTubing scene and the streaming scene that like multiple people in my friends go live all at the same time, and I'm just like, I can only hold so many streams in my hands, and how I juggle this. The struggle is real. I know, especially like with the people you're super close to and like, you know, that you enjoy hanging out with on a regular basis. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I want to be over here with you, but also this friend I haven't talked to in a while is over here, and just yeah, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing and a half. Yeah. So what you guys been up to? Sorry, I can't pass up a good throwdown song. It's a real struggle. I know, understandable. Yeah. Not to mention, you know, the way Twitch is just like, oh no, you can only like, you know, have maybe like 2 people open for it to count. You're eating chicken and fries. I'm coming over. I hope you got a plate ready. I want my chicken nuggies. All right. All right, hang on. No. I thought I could, but nope. Nope. We gotta do chill. Otherwise, I'm gonna get too distracted by guitar riffs and beats. Thank you for the nuggets, Flash. Appreciate you. So yeah, today's another just like chill yap stream. We can talk about whatever we want to, anything that's ruminating in our little brains and all that stuff. Just have a chill time. I'm still kind of getting used to the fact that I'm going to bed at 8 o'clock now on stream nights, so that's fun. But it's honestly like, it's doing me a lot better in terms of like when I have to be up for work, so it's a necessary change. It's a necessary change. Also, we did get the schedule out this week. It's crazy, but good for you. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't help the fact that I have to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I think doing 8 o'clock's, you know, reasonable. I think it's a little bit reasonable to like try to get myself that minimum 6. Hang on, I'm being dinged. By, okay, just general server notification. Blee. People dinging and pinging all over the place right now. What's the deal with that? My day today has not been too busy or anything like that. Just kind of vibing, and like I spent a lot of the day off the computer today. because I was just like at the point where like I just need to like chill, lay down for a little bit, and just be like not do nothing. I've been really on top of doing my clips and stuff recently because of a mindset that I saw that I really took to. And so that's been fun to do again, but also just like I needed like a solid recharge day, and I think today was a good one to do it, especially going back to the work tomorrow. I say. Let's see. So I was talking earlier about the schedule. We've only got 2 streams coming up this week, by the way. Only 2. Because this week is a very important week for me. Very important. Very important. Hey, Okami, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. How you been? But yeah, this week's very important because it marks 3 years that Linz and I have been together. So, you know, this upcoming weekend we're planning on celebrating and, you know, just treating to ourselves a little bit. You know, hanging out. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yippee! Yeah, it's nice. It's nice feeling to be in like a good relationship like this we've been. It's hard to believe it's been 3 years already too. It always feels shorter than it has been at times. You know what I mean? Thank you, Noliel. Thank you, Sevi. Thank you, Okami. And also, I hear you on the existing part. I feel that in my bones. W anniversary, yippee! Dakari, I love that you bring the energy. But yeah, 3 years. Like, I remember. God. Okay, so you guys want a little bit of a story time as to how Linz and I like actually ended up together? It's a little bit of a story, but it's not too long. My only relationship right now is with Deadlock. Well, I mean, that's valid. I mean, there's plenty of good characters in Deadlock from what I've seen. Ooh, story time, my favorite. Well, I mean, you know, it's not an elaborate story, but it's a story nonetheless. So, okay, where do I want to start with this? I guess the beginning is a good place. So, around 2021, I want to say. Yeah, it was just around 2021. I told the story before about how I got into Final Fantasy 14, like kind of what got me into that, you know, videos I was watching at the time, yada yada. Well, Dahlia was in that FC, and she's kind of back in it. She's kind of running her own thing too. But Dahlia was in the FC, KB, and also Lindsay was in there from the time I started. And so, like, when I first started out hanging out in that FC, I usually hung around, I want to say, just with a few people that weren't, like, you know, mainstay raiders or anything like that. It's mostly, like, you know, my own little, like, offset of people that I would hang out with, because we were just, you know, being dorks and doing our own thing. And also because I spent a lot of time catching up on MSQ those first couple months. The rush I went through to finish that in time for Endwalker's release was just, it was a heckin'. It was a heckin', and yeah, it was just crazy. So what ends up happening was, like, the year that Endwalker, yeah, it was like literally right around that time that I joined the FC and started playing Final Fantasy 14. So, like, I want to say I got done about a month or 2 before Endwalker would drop. And that was, like, before we knew that the delay was coming. And so I cultivated a lot of friendships there, and Lindsay was one of them. Like, she actually helped get me through a lot of the content, like getting through the story and all that stuff. And so we bonded that way, and we had a mutual friend, Tito, who used to be in the FC. Now he's just doing his own thing. But the 3 of us were kind of 3 amigoing there for a good while. And, like, she and I, you know, bonded a close friendship and stuff through that, just through playing games together, because we got a lot of the same tastes in terms of, like, class aesthetic and the games that we enjoy. Like, literally we share so much together, like about ARPGs and stuff like that, because we like our Diablo. So, that being said, around the tail end of 2021, like we're playing together, getting to hang out, and I have what we call a little bit of a a mental break. I literally had a moment where I got so fed up with my job and just the way things were in that environment that I ended up quitting, like right around that time period. And so, like, Endwalker wasn't just, big time emotions for me because of the story. It was also big time emotions because I was trying to figure out what to do with myself in terms of a job, because that was a 10 yeah, that was like a 10-year job almost I had at that spot in New Jersey that I was working at. Because I had first moved out there in 2013, and I started that job summer. Yeah, so that would have put it like 8 years. Summer of 2013 up until December of 2021. Yeah, just about. That's a fucking mood, though. Yeah, it was. So I'm busy applying to jobs, not just within Jersey, but like kind of like the areas around. And again, by that point, I already knew Lindsay and knew she was down in Connecticut. Well, as some of you know, we've also got a little bit of a thing called an age gap between the two of us. Now, we're both consenting adults. We both were fully aware before we got into a relationship that was a factor. So we got a bit of an age gap between us. That's not really a hidden thing. That said, though, gasping. I know, right? But because she and I had gotten so close, and because we were doing so much stuff together, I kind of got the notion there for a little while. Shifty eyes don't know anything about that. Yeah, totally right. Scoundrel. Google Ducky started. I know, I'm terrible. But like I started getting the extra fondness, you would say, because at that point it had been, I want to say, a good just about 7 years that I had been single since my last relationship went up in smoke in 2014. Around about that much time, because it'll have been like 9 years that I was single when she and I officially started dating. But anyways, we're jumping around, and I'm bleh. But anyway, so I started getting the little bit of the uh-oh. You know what I mean? You like, it's the moment where you just kind of like, you have a thought one day and it hits you, and it's like, oh no. I might be more fond of this person than they are of me. And I don't know what to do about that. God. Yeah, so what ended up why are we the same person? Been there. I'm glad we all share this in common. Good, because I was like completely, I wouldn't say terrified, but I was so apprehensive because of the fact that, one, we had the age gap. Two, that because she was so close-knit with so many of our friends within the FC, like, there was that extra bit of pressure that's like, if I botch this, I am going to have to, like, start over under a new name, like, new zip code, new name, like, change the name to Billy Bob or something like that if I heck this up. So that was like something that weighed on my mind for a little bit. And then in my process of applying for jobs after quitting the Billy Bob Seeker BT, exactly, HK, exactly. Also, welcome in. Billy Bob Seeker BT. I'm a country grassroots rock bnuuy. No, it would be a jackalope. That's what it would be. It'd be a jackalope. So, in my search for a job, I actually get hit up by this place through a recruiter for a place in Connecticut. And it turns out to be a place that's only like, I want to say at the time it was like 40 minutes away from where Linz was living at the time. And so I'm like, okay, it'd be nice to be closer to a friend, that's for sure. But also, I'm a little, oh boy. So I end up interviewing at the place in Connecticut, and they offer me the job. Now, me, not being one to sit around and wait for any other jobs within Jersey, I'm like, okay, nothing's holding me here. I'm going to go. And my parents helped me out with that part. Well, yeah, my mom helped me out with that mostly, financially. And we got me into Connecticut. So I ended up at the place I was like up until the tail end of last year in that part of Connecticut. And I started working there. So during this whole period of time, Linz and I are still talking. She's kind of introducing me to, ideas about places to go in Connecticut. Because I was mostly going to work and I was going home. And that was my life. So eventually, she invites me out to a local state fair later on that year. And this was 2022. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll go hang out. And then I see her in person. Because I already knew what she kind of looked like. From like some photos and some webcam calls and that we'd had with our friends. Oh, it was Jover. Look, I make no aspersions about hiding my tastes. I like my women short, and I like them blonde. And she fit both those categories. Oh, it was Jover. And let me tell you, when we went to that fair, like, I was on, like, such high alert with nerves and stuff about hanging out with her in person for the first time, because it literally was the first time we hung out in person. Besides, like, talking over, like, Discord and stuff like that, and webcams and stuff, and seeing each other through that, so that was the first hangout, and let me tell you, the way it panned out with things, like, we were just going around checking out different stalls and stuff like that, checking out the animals and the bnuuy, because there's always bunnies at these things. Let me recenter myself a little bit, that's bugging me. So one of the things that got me real bad while we were there was we sat down for a live band. Now, I want to see a number of ones or twos. Ones if you have been to a state fair before, and twos if you haven't. Let's see that in chat right now. See if you've been to a state fair or not. Not symmetrical must be in center. I know, right? 1, but it's been a hot effing minute. Yeah, okay. 1.5. Oh, no, Nolio, how do you swing that? All right, so 1.6. Oh, well, now you're just being ridiculous. Hawaii, but also when I was like 5. Oh, no Leo's been to Hawaii. Okay. Okay. Okami, the amount of fairs you haven't been to is increasing astronomically. By going to a Ren fair but not a state fair. I get you, Flash. And Nolio's from... I didn't know Nolio was from Hawaii. Okay. Now I learned some Nolio lore. Nice. But anyways, so those of you who have been to state fairs and when they bring in live bands, what kind of music they usually play? Now, we all usually agree when it comes to state fairs in farmer states and that kind of stuff, they're usually playing country. But I think we all understand what we mean when I say the theming of the music they play when you're at a state fair. I think we understand what kind of topics are being brought up in a state fair live band. If you haven't guessed it already, it was love songs. So I'm sitting there next to her as these bands are playing love songs, and I'm trying to think of, how do we get out of this? Because, reminder, this was our first time hanging out in person. Oh, just part. You see, I feel like she knew. That's a new part. You don't. Well, I mean, like, okay. To be fair, I think she was aware of like the situation we was in, because she kind of did this little thing where she like just curled up and kind of like angled herself away a little bit. To those of you in chat who are suggesting farting myself or pissing my pants, I think that would have made things worse. I don't think that would have fixed the situation. Okay, so she wasn't really like super overt about it or anything. No. She did like, angle herself away a little bit. It could be an awesome story to tell. Yes, my future nieces and nephews. Let me tell you about the time I wooed my wife over by pissing my pants. True story, true story. But anyway, so sing along badly because she would have already known you sing, so it'd be fun and funny. Yes, seems legit. But no, eventually what happened was, like, I just sort of, like, I sat there for a little... Oh! I were a wolf. But, so, eventually, I was kind of like, okay, let me just scoot off. It's like, okay, we can get out of here. You know, we don't gotta sit here through this whole set, because I think there was about, like, 2 songs in before we ended up walking away. The rest of the time was fine, you know? It was, like, it was that one awkward moment there that was just kind of like, okay, you know what, let's just scoot along. And I was very lucky in that she wanted to keep hanging out. After that, because I was like, okay, you know what, if any point through this whole thing like kind of kills it for us, I think that might have been it. But, you know, very, very grateful that it wasn't. But, you know. So anyways, after that, we do like a few couple more hangouts after that. Like we went to the Distant World Symphony, I want to say early the next year in 2023. So that was like another like outing for us. We would go like on all sorts of little outings just to go to places like shopping malls and that kind of stuff just to walk around. And eventually it got to the point where she was suggesting things. It was at that point where she started suggesting little things to me that was kind of like hinted at, like, oh, she'd like to like meet my family, like my mom and my siblings. And it got the brain thunking a little bit. I was like, okay, so she's mentioned wanting to meet my mom. She's mentioned wanting to meet my siblings. Nah, it couldn't be. It's like, nah, it couldn't be. Because, guys in the chat, you know how this goes. Like, unless the words are stated completely and directly, clearly, like, no wishy-washiness about it. Like, we try not to take it in that direction just because she's either just being nice, just being polite, or that kind of stuff, and we don't want to be labeled as, you know, bad. Also, tism, yeah, exactly. Another thing that I could be clocked for that I wasn't realized until now. So, yeah, she started throwing that out. And, so, like, over time, And I'm talking to like close friends about this, like whenever we hang out, and like she's telling me things, and I'm like freaking out in DMs with my friends, and the whole time they're going like, "Just ask her already." And I'm like, "No, what if I screw this up?" And at the time, Tito and I were still kind of drinking buds, you know. So there was at least one point where like I went on, I want to say, a alcohol inspired ramble directly in his DMs about what I was feeling and my thoughts and how I felt like, what if I screw this up kind of thing. And I think he's pretty much still got that saved to use against me at some point. So, fast forward to April. We're around this time that year. Oh yeah, the classic. That's why it's one of the big reasons why I don't really drink anymore, because apparently I just both literally vomit and word vomit to close friends. What are the thoughts that are like, no, I'm kind of telling the story that led up to the start of my relationship with my girlfriend, Werewolf Yeet. So we're going through the history, at least from my side. That's where we're at. Yeah, so we're telling some stories here. It's a yap night, so it's story time. How about Lindsay? She's good. But so anyway, so it gets to be around this time of year with Easter coming up. It was coming up on Easter at that time, and I still had not met anyone like from her family directly. Anywho, does she know about that? Oh my god! Why? We gotta do this. He gets me every time. Right in the middle of my fucking story time. Thanks, Werewolf. Okay. Anyways. So, just before Easter, we came back from. So I'm guessing no. I don't think she knows about like the fact that I got drunk that one time, and like spilled my guts to my friend. But as I'm saying, like it gets to being like just before Easter, and we're coming back from a hangout, and she's like, "Hey, you like want to meet my uncle?" Because that's who she was renting from at the time. I'm talking about Metal. She knows. She's been known even before we started dating. And so like I drop her off at home, and we see her uncle walking around, and so she brings me up to talk to him. I introduce myself, and we get on just fine like that. And so she's like, okay, well, so let's go meet my grandmother real quick if she's, up. Up there she is. My ears are ringing. Hi, hon. We're just talking story time. We're talking story time about what happened just about 3 years ago. So she takes me up, and we meet with her grandmother, who has passed on since then. So, obviously, rest her soul. Yeah. And so I meet her grandmother, and we talk for a little bit. I introduce myself and like, hey, I'm Jake, that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then right on the spot, her grandmother invites me to Easter dinner with the rest of her family. Nom, nom. Oh, they liked you. Her grandmother seemed to like me off the spot. Oh, that shit was so planned. But I don't think it was planned. I think her grandmother just saw her bring me up, and she's like, this is the first guy that Lindsay has brought around in a long time. We might as well ask him over to Easter dinner. So I get invited. And it's literally the next day that they're having the Easter dinner. And so I go over, I obviously make myself presentable. And we have Easter with her younger brother. I forget if Vinny was there with us at the time or not. I think he wasn't. And so I meet her dad, her mom, her two grandmothers. So you wore a wolf shirt and skinny jeans? No, I had a button up and like my cargo pants and stuff like that. I know better than to wear a wolf shirt. That's werewolf's job. So I get to meeting them. And, obviously you do your introductions. It only had 2 moons on it, right? It had 2 moons, but it had 3 wolves. Two moons and a specter werewolf. We're getting sidetracked. But yeah, so I get to meet them, and we have a really good time talking to them. I introduced what I was doing at the time, like the kind of work. And I remember distinctly when I mentioned the type of work I was doing at the time for the engine components shop that I was working at, her dad's head snapped over like with speed because I caught him moving like out of the corner of my eye. It's just like we went. He's like, "What you do? What?" Oh yeah. So we end up having that dinner, and after that's all said and done, we say our goodbyes, that kind of stuff. I go home, and I end up just like sitting there for a hot second, like for a good hot second, and I'm just like, so you've met her folks. You've met her uncle. You've met her grandmothers. Should probably get about having that conversation. So obviously, we had plans already set in motion, kind of. Nah, that was just coincidence. Just maybe, yeah, exactly. So I talked to a couple of my friends, obviously, to be like, and I remember one distinctly was Dahlia's now husband, Wolf, being like, Wolf? Not you, werewolf. I think I gotta have that conversation with her because I just met her family in person, and apparently I'm the first guy she's brought around in a long while. And so, he hypes me up a little bit, gives me reassurance that, just got to go through with it. And we ended up, I think it literally was like the next weekend that the 15th fell on. I believe so, anyway. I know Easter dances around a little bit about where it falls on a weekend, on the calendar. I kind of remember it being like either the week of the first week of April or something like that, or the next weekend. Anyways. We weren't married years ago, so I'm not married. So anyways, we ended up going and seeing the Mario movie, the first one, in theaters. And so we went and saw that, and I'm sitting there just like thinking about it the whole time that we're in the movie. So besides thinking she was cute and all. So I'm sitting there through the whole movie thinking about, how am I going to bring this up? How am I going to bring this up? I can't do another hangout in person, like go beyond this without bringing this up because I know it's going to eat at me. And I remember, like, we got back to her place afterwards, dropped her off, said hi to Nixie. And I think this was before Little Buddy. Hey, I like your faith. I wish it was that easy. But I remember distinctly now that I'm really like trying to dig back to it. Like, we got back there, we were saying our goodbyes and stuff, and I start turning towards the door, getting ready to go out. Should have talked during Bowser's Peaches song. I mean, honestly, Thunderbird, you have more courage than I do to do it at that point. I don't know how she would have taken it. It'd be like, we got the song about peaches, you know, I love you. And me being like, hey, so, you know, this song, maybe that's why I'm single now. But I remember, like, getting ready to head out the door, and I literally, hey, me too, for you. That would have been funny, but I remember stopping just as I'm getting ready to pull the door, like, and I hit my knuckles on the counter, just like dead stop to make myself like do that. And I'm trying to psych myself up doing it. So I kind of recall, Lindsay, you might want to like comment here too, because you were obviously there. But like, I was trying to psych myself up to actually like get the words out. And she's kind of looking at me concerned, like, Jake, is everything okay? And I was like, hold on, just give me a second, because this has kind of been on my mind for a little while, and I think we really need to talk about this before going forward. And that's when I finally said, like, what do you think about us dating? To which she responds, like, well, my folks are okay with it. And yeah, that's how we got started. So that was like after, like, yeah, that happened after a good year of me kind of just like ruminating on like whether or not like to actually follow through on these feelings and stuff like that. And honestly, like, one of the best choices I made in my adult life was just finally just rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. And here we are 3 years later, and we're getting ready to celebrate on the 18th, which is why we're not having a stream on the 18th, because I'm going to be out with her, and we're going to be watching the sequel to the Mario movie. I mean, ain't that a coinkydink how that lined up? So, yeah, that's basically the story from my end of things. Ah. And now there are matching wolf shirts. God damn it. The story of his life, exactly. Actually, we do have matching Final Fantasy 14 shirts. I don't know if that's any better or worse. You make up your mind about that. But yeah, that's the story about how Lindsay and I ended up getting together. And oh heck, Lindsay's back on BDO. We'll never see her again. Sorry, I was just checking our DMs. Rip. But yeah, that's the story of how she and I started dating. And again, like, thinking back on it now, dude, I could not have seen like all the cool ways and like the cool experiences we have had together, like going into it. And also just like, I never really thought I would find somebody that could like match me like this well. You know, like, at one point I was kind of resigned to like either, you know, something happens or it doesn't, and I'm, you know, trailing off alone for the rest of my life. But it can happen. It can happen. Like, after years of being told by people, oh yeah, it'll happen when it's time, it'll happen when it's time. And honestly, like, sometimes that can be a little patronizing. If I'm being honest, that can be a little patronizing, especially if you're going through it. Yeah, well, yeah, that's mood, yeah. So it's been a huge blessing to actually like have her in my life. And like, again, she's pushed me to do things that I probably wouldn't have considered before. She's a huge reason why I keep pushing on stuff like doing VTubing and stuff like that and being a content creator, because of the fact that like she supports the hell out of me and like supports my interests, and I try to do as much as I can the same for her, even though right now we're kind of We're kind of on an embargo for buying her more plushies. So we're going to need to get a house before we can buy her more plushies. But yeah, that's my mushy story for you guys. That's it. That's it. And then, you know, we're celebrating 3 years together this upcoming weekend. Even though our actual anniversary is on the 15th, so this Wednesday, you guys will probably see some mushy message in the Discord about that. You know, go about that as you will. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been such a good thing. And honestly, like, my family really likes her. She gets on really well with my mom, which, thank God. Thank God, because... my mom did not like the last one, and honestly, with years behind me now, I understand why. And then there was an ever-growing basement digging deeper into the ground to hold the collection. I'm telling you, like, when she and I actually have a home, like, a home of our own, that's something we actually want to do together, is actually get a house. We're definitely gonna have to figure out like where to put all the plushies and stuff. And chat, I'm not lying when I tell you this. At some point, there's probably gonna be an extra large Pikachu plushie in my future. Because we've seen that thing around the local scene and like markets and stuff like that forever, and she's always wanted to grab it. And I know the moment we get a house, or the moment we have a home of our own, that thing's coming home with us. And the music is appropriately ominous. Hanging from the ceiling in the entryway, welcome home. No, we're not hanging it from the ceiling. I won an extra large Pikachu plush at a state fair once. Ah, lucky for you, HK. Yeah, our state fairs have never been that lucky for where we could get Pikachus. I did win her like inflatable axolotl at one point though, but that was like, to be fair, that was like a kiddie game win. All right, this is getting a little too ominous for what we're talking about here. Symphony of Power. Thank you. It was on the ring toss game. I'm a ring toss goat. Oh. See, I've tried the shooty games and haven't had much luck. I might have to try my hand at ring toss next time we go to a fair. Also, hi Metal Wolf. How you doing? Yeah, I think, gosh, that little hammer game that I played to get her the inflatable axolotl, it couldn't have gone any taller than my elbow, if we're being honest, for the bell. And I had to walk all the way over to like near the other side of the carnival to get to the ATM, to get the money, to pay for the thing, and then come back, hit the bell, and get the axolotl. I don't have a large Pikachu plush, but I do own a big Bulbasaur plush. Nice, Werewolf. Hell yeah. Twitch has disappointed me. It won't tell me when someone streams anymore. See, that's why, like, I know Twitch can't always be reliable. That's why I tend to ping people when I do go live. And I know, like, I can be a little ping heavy sometimes with stuff in the server. Just a little bit. So I understand why. I understands why. Which, you know, by the way, if you guys haven't joined there already, we do have a pretty cool Discord where we talk about stuff like Godzilla's and metal and tokusatsu and stuff like that. Oh, wait, no. I put that in the wrong command box. Nope. There's one more deal. Gets ping. Oh my god, it's sick again! Again! Discord, I know. This bunny chills there. Yes, I do. I try to chill anyway. And then there are days where like there's like so much going on that I gotta bring to your guys' attention that it's just like ping, 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 ping. And I'm pretty sure at some point people like want to strangle me. which is valid. Nah. Metal Wolf staring at me. Sorry, just sipping in my water. Because we are yapping up a storm over here. Ooh-wee. Ah. Sorry, getting shot at. You're good, man. You're good. I just stare at them and make them nervous. Yeah, that's fair, Metal Wolf. Now we got two wolves. Metal Wolf's actually been a long time homie here. Metal Wolf's been around. Now, he really doesn't like it when I have to fight wolf enemies in video games. So, you know, I think it's a good thing we're not really playing a video game right now. Well, I'm the second wolf, exactly. But you're the one that can do, you know, metal screams and stuff like that. And do it really good, too. Metal Wolf, I just assume, like, he's, you know, big old wolf made of metal. Which, you know, pretty damn cool. At least that's my mental image of him. Do you disagree, Metal Wolf? Am I off kilter? Am I off base? Are my assumptions wrong? Inside Jake's stream and server, there are two wolves. I should have an art design of that. Yeah. Remind me, like, isn't there like a video game thing called Metal Wolf too? Am I going crazy? Because my brain distinctly thinks of like either a mech being named Metal Wolf or something like that. I don't know. Maybe my brain's trying to access the old memories of Mech Warrior. I'm the wolf that distracts people with his cuteness. Also, appreciate the posture check earlier, Okami. You're the wolf that eats himself like Luigi's side B attack in Smash Bros. I mean, true, especially with those vocals. Those lows, my dude, those lows. Okay. Gosh, okay. So, yes, there's a game called Metal Wolf. Metal Wolf Chaos. See, I knew I had it. I knew I remembered. I can remember stuff. I have a functional brain. For the most part. Speaking of lows, I got clips done. Ooh, nice, bud. I can't wait to see those. December 2004, it was released in Japan. I think I got Melody Bunny, who is also in the Discord server. I think I got her that game for Christmas one year. We all know that for the most part. Well, thank you. Y'all got functional brains? No fair. You know, my function's okay. Mine functions okay for the most of the time, especially when it comes to like music and stuff like that. It serves its function, but as soon as I start playing a video game on stream, that just kind of goes out the door. That just goes way out the window. And now I got a DM from someone with a wolf profile picture. What are you, like, on, like, Wolf Tinder or something like that? Are you on Wolf Meat? Are you on Wolf Finder? Nah, Discord bots? Shame. Wolfme.com. I'm a potato, you know, Dakari. Based, Dakari. Hang on, I'm scrolling through chat, making sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see here. Yep. Mine is questionable if I don't take my ADHD meds. That's fair. I can make it a DM from someone with a swirl for a profile pic that if you prefer. Yes, Yellow Flash is coming to DM you about tokusatsu. I said based. 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 And now someone's going to cut out the end of that spelling and just be like, Jake said ED. All your base are belong to us. Oh, God, yeah, thinking about how old that reference is. That is ancient lore. I swear, that game's code, like, age equivalent is now on a scroll of papyrus. Now I'm starting to think about, like, actually, how old is that reference anyway? I'm going to look that up real quick. Don't mind me, guys. Don't mind me, chat. Not the Zero Wing ref. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So this will be a nice little demographic check in the chat. Okay. Why, whatever do you mean? So the phrase first appeared on the European release of the 1991 Sega Mega Drive conversion of the 1989 arcade game. All right. Here's where the question comes in, chat. This is where we get our demographic check. Since the game first released in 1989 in Japan, which was my birth year, how many of you are younger than Zero Wing? Because that's how old the reference is. That C7, he's like, we had a discussion earlier today. What that is? It's a video game. I was 7 when that game came out. Okay, so Rathlon's got Zero Wing beat. Yeah, you and I had this discussion earlier today, Yellow Flash. We're both about as old as Zero Wing, actually. I remember I had my 44th birthday on March 18th. I remember now. I did not listen to the question. Well, goddammit. We were doing an age check here real quick because Zero Wing, the game that the phrase "all your base are belong to us" came out in 1989. So I was just checking, like, are you younger than Zero Wing? Or are you older than Zero Wing? Do all your base belong to us? Older? Okay, respect. Plenty of respect for that. Oh. I knew I recognized the freaking Tristram theme. Yeah, shit, age check. Yeah, well, younger. You were playing Mario already. Hell yeah, Noliel. Hell yeah, and Dakari younger. That's cool. Stay a while and listen as I tell you the tales of Diablo and the time we went skinny dipping in the pools of hatred. I swear, when Tito and I first started playing Diablo stuff together, like, I would just pull that voice on him all the time. I was born the year the great first Zelda game was released. Nice, Metal Wolf. Nice. Whole lot of gaming history came from people in our age group, which also reinforces the fact that our age group saw so much technological advancement in such a short period of time. We be old. We have seen generations of consoles come and go. We have seen technology go from 8-bit to just like near lifelike. What is our existence at this point, man? What is our existence? See the rise and fall of game companies? Oh yeah, that's true. We have seen so many like companies that we thought would stick around just go by the wayside, and we're kind of in the middle of seeing that happen right now too. Crazy, man. Crazy. I was gaming with my Nintendo DS before I knew PlayStation and Xbox existed. Yeah, that's about a fair time period, yeah. My first, and I think I've mentioned this before on chat, but yeah, we all still look gorgeous still. I know, millennials, like, for some reason, millennials really don't age. Because I get told all the time I look like I'm in my 20s still. Now, my voice doesn't help matters in that regard, but, you know, at least I can be like, well, thank you. I'm definitely not in my 20s anymore, but I appreciate the compliment. Also, thank you guys who keep hitting the bnuuy button. Chat, if you could do me a flavor just to make sure your views are still counting, please hit that bnuuy retention button. Helps me out, helps Twitch, actually count you guys being here because, it's basically shot itself in the foot so much that we have to do stupid shit like this. What's up? Thank you, Metal Wolf. That one ends up playing more often than any of the other WhatsApps or the hellos. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Sevi. Oh, God. I'm still thinking about the way I got Dahlia last night. I got her so bad. Oh, I got her so bad. I told her, like, Dahlia, you got to make that a clip. When I do metal screaming, and then right after talking to everybody, it's like, you were screaming in our faces, and now you talk like nothing ever happened. I got told that so much when I was in the live scene, honestly. Like, no joke. Like, my stage energy is very much different from my in-person energy. So, like, when I'm up stage, I'm like, trying to hype people up, and I'm yelling, screaming, singing, that kind of stuff. But when I'm with people, I'm like, hi, thanks for coming to the show. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. Oh, I love you. That kind of stuff. Like, just big old ball of sunshine after screaming in your face. So people would be like, what the hell is going on with you? And my answer to that is many things. I wonder how far gamers would handle the Commodore 64 games and or the Atari 2600 games because they were brutal. I'm pretty sure some people would find that challenge pretty fun, honestly, because there's always going to be people in any given medium who kind of want the highest level of challenge, whether it be for their own personal ambition or they want the recognition for doing so, that kind of stuff. There's always going to be people who do stuff like that. It's human nature for a lot of people in that way. So I think there would be a fair amount of gamers that would probably take on that challenge. Now, it's not going to be the mass, majority of people, because people are going to want the most accessible to be able to enjoy themselves. But, I could see a few people taking that on, no problem. Phone, why are you beeping at me? Why for? Okay, yep. Okay, thank you, phone. Thank you. You'll go back down. Oh, we got an ad break starting here soon. Guys, you guys know that we take 3 minutes out of the hour when we do an ad break, so that means you guys can get up, stretch, get a snack, that kind of stuff, focus on your video game if you're playing it, up you're winning. And while we do that, especially if you're subbed or if you got a Twitch Nitro or whatever it's called, we will be playing a little mini game on Stream. So you guys are getting your button. Also, hey, Volug. Good to see you. So we're going to bring up the button for you guys to play with while we're on our ad break. And then afterwards, we'll be back with more yapping about things. What about? Well, I mean, that'll be for you guys to decide. I told you my stories. And if you guys got any questions about that kind of thing, feel free to ask. All right, we're getting the voids going for you guys. We shall be back after the ads. Dude, you guys did so good on that. I kind of want to see if you guys can get this one too. I'll be rooting you on. I believe in you. You know, I might even help out too. Let's see here. What words can we find in this? There's no 3-letter words. Oh wait, hang on. I got an idea. How about this? No, it didn't cut my word. It did not count the Spanish cero. Terry. How the heck did you get Terry? Oh wait, hang on. I might have one. Good. Well, that. Nope, it didn't give me that one. Heckin'. All right, it's not 2 O's. Okay. Okay. We are. Oh, guys, we cleared it. Guys, give yourself a round of heckin' applause. Guys, we got all the way up to level 4. Holy hell. You guys are doing so good. You guys are doing so dang good. Thank you for taking part in that. Yeah. Good job. Good job, guys. All right, I have to close that for now. I have to close words for now. Sorry. I think that's going to be the only button because I got to go to bed at my regular time tonight. Sadly. Man, you know, if no more words for us, I know. But you know what? We'll have more words at our next stream. Promise. I promise. You know, guys, if only I could be, you know, an anime bunny boy like 24/7 and, you know, just do that as my day job, that would be, you know, heaven. And I did not intentionally mean to rhyme there, but, you know, I might take a whittle credit for it. All right, phone, you go on the charger again. All right. So anything else you guys like want to know about me? Because we did talk a little bit about my personal lore here. Like, you guys ever had any questions about me that you've always wanted to like know about the bun boy, and watch my head just do wild swings there? Holy shit. You know, any particular questions, music, that kind of stuff? I try to be an open book as much as possible, but I also realize that I'm not just, you know, like yapping endlessly like so I bring up every little thing. So if you guys got questions too, you know, you're always free to poke a little bit within reasonable boundaries, of course. Within reasonable boundaries. If not, I can find a topic. I can dig into my totally real bag of topics and we'll pull something out. Oh. Sorry, I was just weeding something real quick. What will we? Let's see. I wanted to talk to you guys about something else too, but not just, you know, the fact that my anniversary is coming up this week. I think I mentioned before we got some fan art coming up in the pipeline. Ooh, guys, actually, hang on. want to show you something that a friend made me, because I think it's pretty neat. But my friend Mira, Kiseki Mira, fellow VTuber, by the way, she drew me a little something the other day. And I want you guys to see this, okay? And I'll make sure it gets added and on the YouTube side, too. Oh, look at this little guy. Look at this. Look at this fellow right here. Look at this boy. It's just a little guy. Just a little friend. Let me add this on the YouTube side, too, just so you guys can see that. Looks like a sticker. I know, almost does, right? She did such a great job on it, too. And honestly, it was just because I put up a post saying, like, hey, I like when people draw me stuff, you know? I'm a big fan of, like, that art as a gift, like, that kind of stuff, because that's a very personal thing that people do when they make you, like, art and stuff like that, when they draw. Even if it's just, like, a silly little doodle. I've always really appreciated that about creatives, is when they make you something like this. So, big shout out to Mira, who, again, is, like, one of my legit friends in the scene. Like, I want to say it was shortly after I really started taking, like, trying to do content and stuff on TikTok, like, a little bit more seriously, which was, like, right after I actually started working with the customizable model, because she actually made me an art then, too. Like, she drew my old version of the customizable model back then. Let me make sure I'm giving her the right shout out. Bone, I need you over here real quick. But yeah, she drew that. Isn't that nice? He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy, and I'm trying to think of ways we can use him for things. I might have to talk to Amir about, like, permissions and stuff like that. Hang on, making sure that she got the shout out. It's not showing up on mobile. How dare you? How dare you? But yeah, that was, like, one of the things I got today. So, well, that was actually, like, late last night that I got it, but still, thought you guys would appreciate that. We do got more artwork on the way, in terms of, like, commissions and stuff like that, and I can't wait to share that with you guys, because we got two, like, really cool artists working on stuff for me. One of them is actually going to end up being, like, a starting soon screen. And I'm really happy about that.
Today is my favorite pest animal.
Animal called platypuses. How you doing, G-Pace? Hope your Sunday's going well. But yeah, got art on the way, and I can't wait to share it with you guys because it's so dang cool. And let's see, there was one art for the BRB screen, for the starting soon screen, and the other one was just like an art piece I commissioned from one of my streamer moots. So she set the deadline for, like, this coming Wednesday, so hopefully that'll be ready to share with you guys. You just got to work, G-Pace? Ah, I hope you have a good day at work, bud. I really do. I know sometimes it can be rough, but, you know, I believe in you. You got this. You got this. That's the plan? Yeah. Yeah, you got this. Oh, guys, actually, that makes me think about something. Well, it's kind of an offshoot thing. It's a hard pivot, you know? So imagine, if you will, like, the tires are screeching, because this thought just occurred to me. But we did actually end up doing a community night this past Friday. Pivot! And watched some Godzilla -1 with the community. So if you guys joined the Discord, there's a pretty good heckin' chance we're gonna end up watching, like, a Godzilla movie together, if you ever wanted to watch that. Again. So I'm trying to think of ideas for this upcoming Friday and the next one because, as you guys know, at the end of the month, I will have to leave you. Because I'm going to be away in Rhode Island. Now, I don't know if Rhode Island is stinky or anything like that, but I'm just going to call it Stinky Rhode Island just because. But yeah, so I'm trying to plan ahead for the next couple weeks. That way, in my absence, you guys won't be missing me too hard. I don't know. You guys going to miss me when I'm gone? Are you guys going to miss the bun when I'm not able to stream? And again, it's only for the end of the month, so that'd be like the 27th through May 1st that I'd be gone. You guys would? Oh, you guys. I miss you too. Genuinely, like, a lot of the recent streams where we've been talking and goofing off and stuff have been like some of the best streams I've had lately. To be quite honest, like, really enjoy it when you guys are just joining in. I'll miss the Kirkhammer gaming for sure. God damn it. We are on the Kirkhammer life, as well as the Oliver sword. No, it's not, Ludwig's holy sword. It's the Oliver sword. Which I did make that a meme. Where else will I get my Ploppity Plus? That's true. We are a very specific place where you can get your Ploppity Plus. I thought about commissioning an artist for future Bloodborne thumbnails because I know we are barely like a third into the game or anything like that. So I wanted to get like a drawing of my VTuber dressed like the Hunter with either Ludwig's holy sword or the Moonlight Greatsword or the Kirkhammer. And I'm thinking about it. I think what I'll end up going with is like maybe a dual wielding thing, just because I'm an edgelord dude. And so dual wielding both the greatsword and the hammer will be kind of like, yeah. So I got to track down an artist for that will match that aesthetic. But I think that'd be something cool to get. Kind of what I'm thinking anyway. I'm just thinking out loud for future art ideas. Ooh wee. Dual wielding them? That's the great they speak of in the Bible. Well, I could just say, what's up, guys? Help me out here. Help me out. What's an excuse I can make? What? Quick, guys, Savvy, help me out here. What excuse can I make? Quick, I need one. He's got me on the spot. What's an excuse I can make for dual wielding? Cheese it. Rule of cool. My couch is on fire. Oh, well, you go put that out. Go put it out, Metal Wolf. What the hell? Oh, you guys are great. Big stretch. A plumber? A ploppity plus plumber? Jake the ploppity plus plumber?
A plumber. A plopity plus plumber. Jake the plopity plus plumber. Gasp. Jake the plopity plus.
Jake the ploppity plus. Surprised we haven't actually had, like, meme drawings of that already. I thought I loved Godzilla until I saw your throne. You saw nothing. No, you totally didn't see my throne. No, you didn't see my throne. No. Nobody's seen that. No. Nobody's seen that. No. It's not like I have anything on there. No. No, totally don't have anything on there. There's nothing on there. It's just an empty void. Yeah, there's just nothing. There's no need to feel like a fake fan around here, Bolog, man. Like, honestly, I know there's a lot of people who love Godzilla and stuff and really haven't dug in as neck deep into the fandom as people like myself have. And it's always a joy to find content creators and people out there who are putting out videos with like all their Godzilla merch and stuff like that. Like, when I see them, I feel like, man, I really haven't collected enough. And then I remember that my girlfriend has made it her personal mission to dote on me with Godzillas. So, life hack, just get somebody in your life who likes to throw Godzillas at you and everything will be fine. Yeah, no need to feel like a fake fan. Like, every Goji fan is legit. Every Goji fan is legit. Even a little bit of the Matthew Broderick one that we don't talk about. Even a little bit towards that guy, okay? He gets a slight smidge of credit. Because honestly, as much as many Goji fans want to like discredit that one, that movie was a lot of people's first experience with the Godzilla as a franchise. You and another streamer I watch would probably vibe so well over Godzilla. Who would that be, Metal Wolf? You have a free pass at mentioning a streamer here because I'm interested in who you're talking about. Because it's possible that I follow them already. Red Claw? Oh, yeah. I've seen Red Claw, and I know he talks about his Godzillas. Yeah, I follow Red Claw. He's cool. He is cool, and I do love, like, his recent model stuff. It's neat. It's neat. I like that. I thought about it, like, for future potential, like, alt skins and stuff like that. I know for sure that I do want to have like a Godzilla themed Kigurumi. So just, me in a big old Godzilla onesie. But, legally distinct, mind you. Legally distinct. That's like one of my many, many idea plans for my future eventual actual me VTuber model. But that's a bit off in the ways in the distance. That's when I got that thing we call money for that. Oh boy, yeah. Guys, you guys follow any other like creators in particular for stuff like that? Like specifically, if you enjoy Goji, favorite best animal called platypuses. Thank you, Werewolf. Speaking of Godzilla, have you seen the Godzilla Megatron Transformers figure? I have. I thought that was pretty neat. It's pretty much the old T-Rex kind of reskinned for Godzilla, right? Or do I have that wrong? Because I know they did like a Godzilla / Transformers collab thing a while ago. And I was pretty sure Megatron, the War Greymonzilla figure, is badass. Oh, yes. Yes. Don't remind me. It looks like Grimlock had a color change. Ah, okay. So it's based on Grimlock. Okay. I see what they're up to. I love Grimlock. Then again, usually as a kid and growing up, like the ones that were closest to dinosaurs and Godzilla were always my favorite. Call me biased, but call me biased on that part. But T-Rex, Dinosaur, that kind of thing. Oh, okay. I see that clip there, Werewolf. I see that clip there. I might have to follow that person. I might have to follow that person. Tracks, lol. Listen, you gotta stop calling me out. Freaking go over there and, like, speak good things into your life. Also, for some reason, every time I play the Stormblood Alliance raids and I get to the guy with the sniper rifle, I'm like, is that Soundwave? Yeah. Oh, you mean the guy you show your hole to? That guy, the one you show your hole to? Just for clarity. Yep. My name is Mustario Bonanza. Show hole. Yeah. No, I recognize that, like, voice filter effect that they got on him, and I was like, yeah, that's very Soundwave. That's very Soundwave, though it's not as I kind of want to say, like, it's not as musically tuned as Soundwaves was back in the day. I don't know, I kind of feel like it's got that filter effect on it, but it's not like hitting it with the same musicality as Soundwave used to have. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me and my ears. Oh, you know, also the fact that I'm a heckin' nerd. Hang on, I see pictures in the Discord. Somebody found a shirt that's totally not going to go on my throne, which totally doesn't have anything on there. No, it's totally not going on the throne that I have. Totally not going there. Don't know where you guys got that idea. They also have a mug. Ooh, neat. Which, by the way, if you guys ever wanted to get a Jake Dayseeker mug, we do offer that through Fourth Wall, by the way. I know I don't, like, advertise that as much as I should, especially, like, when it comes to stuff like my advanced... I'm being distracted. How dare you? You cut off my product placement! But anyways, yeah, we do have a Fourth Wall shop with t-shirts and a mug if you guys ever want to take a look at that. The topic changes so often, I know, right? I know, it's just how my brain works, honestly. I gotta find a way to, like, I gotta start bringing an outline to these Yap streams. That would probably help, right? That would probably help instead of, you know, just raw dogging it. But I also think, like, just flowing from topic to topic is kind of the point of Yap chats. You know, you just keep talking. You hear one word and you be like, this reminds me. That's Werewolf, that's kind of my existence. And if I don't run with the thought at that very second, then, yeah, I kind of forgot it. And I know Sevy's just sitting there at his keyboard like, hey, I'm about to call Jake out again and read him for filth. Jumping on topics because they remind you of something? Yes, reading you loud and clear, brother. It's also like mums if they meet at a grocery store. Yeah, I know my mom was terrible about that when it came to, like, meeting people at a grocery store or leaving church. Let me ask you guys if you've ever had this experience growing up. Growing up in the church and you're trying to, like, go and your mom decides she has to talk to, like, half the congregation. Very specific experience there. You are, like, standing there and waiting while hours pass. Yeah, basically, if you guys didn't bring any sleeping bags, then you're kind of out of luck. uh, uh, sorry, I have to pop my neck a little bit. Okay, we're good. We're good. We good now. We good now. Crack the neck? Yeah, mine gets a little stiff, so I gotta pop it every once in a while, just because. And then it does like a really loud popping sound, which kind of freaks people out sometimes. I know it freaked out my dad when I was younger. He's just kind of like, why are you doing that? And I was like, it just happens. It's trapped air. Let me tell you. All right. I'm thinking with my brain. I know, dangerous. My neck hurts for some reason. My parents were like, stop doing it. It's bad for your health. Yeah, my dad was like doing that too. He's like, you'll get arthritis early. I'm like, haven't gotten it yet. And then he would pop his knuckles when he'd be like driving, and I just stare at him like, getting arthritis, hey dad? Not that I ever said anything out loud, because he would take that incredibly poorly. Hey bro, how you doing tonight? I'm going good. I'm doing good, Tito. I'm doing good. Just doing some yapping. Just doing some yapping and talking to people and bouncing between topics back and forth, left and right, you know. As you do. How you doing, bud? Hell yeah, and then YouTube came around the corner and was like, don't worry, do it as much as you want. You are good. Yes, because, you know, information on the internet, it's always 100% true. Favorite kaiju? I mean, besides Godzilla? Just another day. You know how it goes? Yeah, I know how it goes, bud. I know how it goes. But favorite kaiju. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit with, like, you know, the clear exception to Godzilla himself. So I'm trying to think here. Trying to think, because my favorites back in the day. Yes, let's put Jake inside the torture chamber if we take away Godzilla from the options. Damn, werewolf. But you know, thinking back on it, like, real difficulty, mine has been Ghidorah since I saw the 1991 Godzilla vs. Ghidorah. I still need to watch that one. I have it on DVD, but I have not yet to watch it. So I guess if we're talking about stuff I had growing up, then it would probably have to be, which, you know, we're counting this on a technicality, but I guess Mechagodzilla would fall under the category of a different kaiju, even though he's kind of a Godzilla variant. Angrier is mine other than Big G, yeah. Or, you know what? No, actually, we can sidestep that. He only appeared for one movie, but King Caesar, I think, was pretty cool. Okay, yeah, we'll go with King Caesar. Because King Caesar came out, like, swinging when it came to fighting Mechagodzilla. It's just a mech? I mean, depends on which movie you're watching. Really depends. Because we got at least 3 movies now with Mechagodzilla being like a kaiju robot hybrid thing. So, you know, it's technically there. Technically, you could make the argument. King Caesar beat Mechagodzilla 2.0 or 1.0. So this would be back like 1.0, the very first appearance of Mechagodzilla. The newest one's just a mech, right? Werewolf, have you not seen Godzilla vs. Kong? Have you seen that whole movie? Because there's a spoiler involved in that. I watched it, but my memory of it is blurry. Okay. So the MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla kind of borrowed from the Kiryu Mechagodzilla, which was the Mechagodzilla they had like in the mid-thousands. And so in the MonsterVerse, Mechagodzilla is a mech, but it's hooked up to the skull of Ghidorah. And 1.0, Tito, 1.0, the very first appearance of Mechagodzilla was a straight-up robot. So King Caesar fought that one. It was just a straight-up robot made by space monkeys. Which, again, when you talk about it in context of the Godzilla movies at the time, that checks out. Now I remember. See, you're good. You're good. But yeah, like you go back to any one of like the older Godzilla movies, and the circumstances are just kind of weird. Like I remember us watching the Godzilla versus Megalon in the server, and like people were losing their minds because the subterranean people were basically dressed in how do we want to call them? What do we want to call them? The way they were dressed, they were basically in like, clear plastic ponchos, but the ponchos kind of looked like bebe prevention devices. I thought the first one made was where they basically did cyber necromancy and took the original Godzilla skeleton that was killed by the Oxygen Destroyer and built around it. And every now and again, the Soul Godzilla would possess Mecha-Chi. That was a very specific line of movies, and that wasn't the first iteration of Mechagodzilla. You wasn't part of the shenanigans? Yeah, it was a hoot. Like I remember Kaiser and everybody was making jokes about the subterranean folk dressed like that. But yeah, Tito, you're thinking Kiryu. Kiryu had a very specific storyline, and that was kind of like a reboot era in the mid-thousands. Like the very first Mecha Goji. And the word you were looking for earlier would have been rubbers. Look, man, I'm just trying to play it safe on Twitch, and I don't want to be bonked. I don't want to be bonked. And I thought it was the first. No, hang on here. I'll pull up a picture for you guys. I don't want to be bonked. What the heck? Hang on. We're getting there. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Which is why it said the word, which it did instead of saying the actual word. Tried to look out for you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. So, I guess we're doing a little bit of Godzilla story time. Here we go. Okay, so the very first Mechagodzilla came around right after Godzilla vs. Megalon, because that's the design they were using at the time. And this is what he looked like. So they made him as close to the Megaro Goji design as they could. And they kind of had him like wearing a fake Godzilla skin suit so he could impersonate Godzilla. So this was the original look. And let me put this up for YouTube. Let me put this up for the YouTube side too. So many photos I got in here. I remember they got finger guns. It wasn't just finger guns. It was like missiles and rockets and lasers and all kinds of stuff. Like, he went ballistic at one point. And it was crazy. And there was a lot of, like, blood. There was a lot of blood in that first movie, too, when, like, Mechagodzilla was fighting Anguirus. And Godzilla, like, he had them bleeding out. And, like, this was during the era where Godzilla was more geared towards kids. He had a friend helping him, Titanosaur. That was the second Mechagodzilla movie, actually, with this particular design. There were two at that time period. This one where he came along and Godzilla and King Caesar fought him. And then there was the second one with Titanosaurus, which was kind of like, to be fair, Titanosaurus was kind of like third wheel in that whole movie. But yeah, this is the first. The very first one. And I remember, like, the music they had for him, too, was just wild, too. Ba-da-da-dam, ba-da-da-da-dam. It was some, like, zany jazz number. Which was kind of the music choice at the time, anyway. Yeah, Tito's moving stuff to Dwyer. Yeah, we'll put these away now. Put these away. Put away your Gojis. This is no longer show and tell. All right, delete that and delete that. But yeah. So that's a little bit of history with that. And Mechagodzilla kind of, as the years went on, he was basically a robot for his next couple of appearances. And then they went with the Kiryu route. BRB got to finish family's dinner. Okay, Metal Wolf. Have good dinner. Have good dinner. We're getting ready to clock out here pretty soon anyway, because I got work in the morning. Sad to say. Do appreciate you guys hanging out here and yapping with me, though. It's been fun. And I'm back, but thanks for the yapping. Been working on my arc tames easier and not as mind-numbingly dull? Yeah, for sure. Glad to be of service. All right. All right. Let's see who is doing what. I just want to see who's like on right now that I can toss you guys towards. Ooh, a few projects for Saturday's Dodo games. Ah, yeah, I know you have that going on. I know you had that going on. All right. Cool. Well, you know what? Actually, since it's getting pretty close to bedtime for me anyway, and I don't have much else to yap about, we'll probably just cap it off here if that's okay with you guys. So no, I did not want to open OBS. I got to take that icon off my taskbar. Stop it. Close. This first one, then moving to a new app shortly after. Ah, I gotcha. Okay, take that off my taskbar. Thank you. All right. Well, yeah, I think we'll go ahead and call it here. As you guys can see, there is the link for the Discord right there. If you guys have not already joined, please, we welcome you there. We can talk about your special interests there. And maybe some of your favorite music and such like that. And you guys will be kept up with all the things going on with the button in that community. We readily welcome you all there if you want to join in for the fun. That being said, I think it's time to raid out. And I'm going to send you guys to somebody who honestly did me a solid. Like, they recently featured me on their smaller metal creators stream. So I want to toss you guys over there as a way of saying thank you. So we're going to raid Ricky Poppet. If you haven't checked her out already, she's a hell good metal vocalist. So you guys definitely should check out her stream, her content. Like, just check it out, because she is badass. All right. As for us, you guys have a great night, and I will see you on Thursday for more Bloodborne. and all the fun that comes with that. All right, you guys have a good night.